So we did a little introduction to ecosystems the other day, understanding ecosystems part one. And I know that I said we were going to go through our textbook, but I think I would rather go through this PowerPoint because I just think that this PowerPoint is just a little bit more fun. You know, it's the same information. This one is just a lot more fun looking. So you could see here we're going to talk about ecosystems. And if you look down towards the bottom, there's a fish with an arrow to the penguin, with an arrow to the seal, with an arrow to the polar bear. So that's just showing that, the food chain starts with a fish. The fish gets eaten by the penguin gets eaten by the seal gets eaten by the polar bear. And that's how the ecosystem food chain works in the Arctic. So let's move on. Ecosystems. Ecosystems, or animals live everywhere on Earth. Many animals live in the hot, dry deserts, while others live in the freezing Arctic regions. Still, others live in the salty oceans that cover much of our Earth. So you could see the cute little penguin in the Arctic, the camel in the desert, and the big whale in the ocean. So this is something that's not new to us. We know that animals live everywhere. We know that they live in different climates. We know that they live in all different aspects of Earth and Earth's surface. All living things around us make up the environment, which includes both living and non-living things. So we talked a little bit about this the other day in our introduction video. We had to match the vocabulary words, and one of them was environment. Living things called organisms carry out basic life functions like getting energy from food, growing, developing, getting rid of waste, responding to the environment, and reproducing. So, this is what we talked a little bit about when we were talking about taxonomy. We talked about the characteristics of living things. Um, we said that they eat, they grow, they change, they get rid of waste, they respond to the environment, they reproduce. So, all different characteristics of living things. And that's why we started science talking about the characteristics of living things. We needed to know those basic things in order to talk about how these living things interact with their environment in their ecosystem. People, animals, and plants are all organisms or living things. Non living things are water, sun, soil, oxygen, and air. All of these living things, or all of the things living and non living in an environment that interact with each other, make up an ecosystem. So, the way that it rains, the air quality, the soil, the plants and animals and bugs, people, we all make up our specific ecosystem and we all affect each other. An ecosystem can be huge, like the Amazon rainforest, or it can be as small as a puddle in your backyard. Think about what you see in a small stream. Water, soil, insects, fish, and worms are all some of the many living creatures found in an ecosystem. So, everything around this stream you can see is part of this stream's ecosystem. There's a deer, bear, some kind of heron or bird over here, right here, a raccoon, a frog, a turtle, a dragonfly, crawfish, snail. So those are just some of the living things I can see. I can see some, looks like trees or shrubs. There's some grass along the edges, the water, the sky, all these things, the rocks, they all make up the ecosystem. Some living things in an ecosystem are too small to see with your eyes, but they are important. They are an important part of it too. Every living thing depends on non living things like sunlight, water, temperature, climate, soil, and even the nutrients found in the water. Thus, both living and non living things make up an ecosystem. So, some of the things that you can't see would be the quality of the air, the temperature, um, again, the nutrients that would be found in the soil or the water, the amount of oxygen that's in the air, that is a big factor in an ecosystem as well. So even the things that you cannot see are important. So, what is an ecosystem? To understand it better, we're going to break it down into two parts. So, the word eco or echo, however you want to say it, means life forms and the environment in which they live. Okay. And system is a group of things that work together. So, in other words, an ecosystem is a group of living things that work and live together in an environment. So, if you're looking at this picture here, you can see there's the mountains and the trees, rabbits, and I don't know, some kind of lynx or something, a goat or mountain goat, and a moose. So, it's a group of things that work and live together in an environment. That's what an ecosystem is. So this is where I'm going to stop our video for today. The next video that we have, we're going to get into the different types of ecosystems. So there's all different kinds, and we're going to talk about the three groups of ecosystems.